Hello everybody. So today I want to talk to you about some of the new cheat codes I've implemented for Tokyo Wizard. So Tokyo Wizard is my first solo game, or the first solo game that I finished, so it has a very important part in my heart. At the beginning, for many years, this game has been out there for many years. I think many of you have enjoyed it. And it's perfectly playable, obviously, without cheat codes, but I know that some people would like to maybe play with a more powerful character, and those of you who want to be able to do so then now have the option of using some of these cheat codes. So I believe that people should enjoy my games however they want to do. If you don't want to use the cheat codes and play the game as intended, then of course you can. If you do want to use them, they're there. And of course all my games tend to have all my games do have difficulty settings, so you can adjust anyway the difficulty settings. But this is something else to play with if you want. So there are I've implemented a cheat code called that should have been Tsuyoi with an S, TSUYOI, and that will give you 10 extra points to starting body attribute. And to the side here, I'd like to show you some of the process the artist Tiffany Yuet went through when she designed the cover for Tokyo Wizard. So this is the early pencil sketch of the cover of the game. So I really like it, and I wanted to show you some more of the. So for the case of the mind attribute, you can use Atamagai, which will give you 10 extra points on mind. And of course, in case you're wondering, then all these come from Japanese words. So I live in Tokyo and I do speak some Japanese. So Atamagai would actually mean intelligent in this case. So and here you can see the early process of how Tiffany was then giving shadows to the color to the different characters. If you use Kokoro Suyoi, you will get 10 extra points to your soul. And again, here to the side, you can see how the cover of the game looked before Tiffany started to apply the special effects to it. You can then use, if you want to start with more money, you can use the okanemochi, which literally in Japanese means have a lot of money or hold a lot of money. And this will give you 100,000 extra starting yen in the game. And this is, I want to focus on one of the characters in the game. So this is this is actually based on my wife. So she was very happy to be part of the cover of the game, if you want. So this is a caricature rendering of her. Yes, so there is more to the cover of this game than just an illustration. If you want to start with more on your Japanese language, you can write EQ, and this will give you 70% extra in your starting language. The other character in the cover is actually nobody in special. It is supposed to represent one of the characters in the game, for those of you who've read it. And this character is based just on a book of Japanese, monsters and mythical creatures that I have. If you want to start with more on your Japanese culture, you can use Nihonjin, which means Japanese person, and this will give you 70% extra in culture. And if you want to have more on your fighting, you can use Samurai, and this will give you 70% extra to fight. If you want to start with more on your relationships, you can use Tomodachi ga aishiteru, and this will give you 50% extra to your relationships. And yes, those of you who support me on Patreon will have more codes available to you. So yes, I have a Patreon channel, and I'm posting the new cheat codes for my games. This month also there will be a new code that will allow people to play one extra side mission for hero or villain. And in the coming months I'll be implementing more of these extra content that people on my Patreon can play. And eventually I'll be collecting, of course, many. When eventually I collect enough of these, then they'll be released to everybody as DLCs. But while I'm working on them, then there'll be sort of like an early version for people on Patreon. So thank you so much for listening, and hope you enjoyed these cheat codes.